Hey YouTube, this is Chuck Reynolds, and I'm glad you stopped by my channel. We're going to do a continued work on cleaning up black sands. I've got the clean up sluice here and the blue bowl over there, but we're going to do something a little different today again. And this will be a kind of a precursor to running material through the sluice. And actually, you could actually do this as a precursor to screening your material, like we did. We screened it to 1/8 inch minus the first time and 20 minus the second time. And I've got some 20 minus here in the pan, and I'll show you what we're going to do here in just a little bit. It's something a little different. You've probably seen this before, but I want to do that, and there's one other little thing I'd like to do afterwards. So give me a minute to get set up here, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, let me get a seat here, and I'll show you what we're going to do. As a precursor, like I said, to actually doing our screening, we're going to use this. And what this is a magic bit. So now this magic bit, this is just a case for it. You get this little case free when you get it. And that's what it looks like. It's got a shaft on it. You can put it in a 3/8 drill like this one. And we'll just put that in there. I think it will. I know it will. Okay. So, and what the purpose of this is, there's several, I think there's 3 manufacturers now that are doing something similar to this. The first one was Spin It Off, and then this is a mining magnets device called the Magic Bit, and there's another one, I can't for the life remember what it is, but and mining magnets has just expanded on this, and I'll show you the other one that I have here that's kind of a knockoff of what he does, but I just did it a little different. So what I'm going to show you here now, hopefully you can see with my pan. Let's do it this way. We'll do it from the riffles out. And you can see in here, now when I spin this drill, I'm going to spin it underneath here. You can see just moving the bit by it. You can see the black sand moving up here. But now when you spin it, you can just run it right up out of your material. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you put it in this big stack, you can pull it up out of there. And sometimes the speed needs to be slower, and I'm running it in reverse there, yes. So you can run it forward also. I don't think it runs as good forward. It kind of wants to spin it this way for some reason. But you do this and you can pull that black sand right out of this material. Now I've got a lot of material in here, so let me take some of this out. This is way too much to mess with that. Usually you're better off just using a little bit in here at a time, maybe like a 1/4 scoop of this. And we'll do it like that. Spin it out just a little bit. Now I got it in reverse again, and something I've done on my drill, because my Makita doesn't have a trigger lock. But this is a hose clamp that I use on my dredge, on my my 1.5" lay flat hose. So it locks the trigger like that, and it usually stays, honest. And here it is. Now we can do it. Now you can see how it pulls that black sand up. Now this is strictly magnetics coming up out of here. It isn't going to do the non-magnetic black sands, but you can do this, and very seldom have I ever got any gold in it when I do this. So what I normally do, and I didn't have it over here, is I take the magnet I used in the last video for the blue bowl, and I'll pick this up and put it in another pan. And what that'll do is let me pan it, or just go through it and look at it and see if there's anything in there. So let's do that. Let me get my magnet. This is not a mining magnets magnet, this is one I made. Now I only did that for a few seconds. You can see it here, not real well, but I'll pick this up now and put it in the pan. Well, if that spins like that, for some reason it doesn't pinch the gold, and I don't know why that is, but it's just a way he designed it. And there is not a piece of gold in there. I mean, it's just black sand. So this works really good. If you do it, I would still go ahead and pan this out. Even though I didn't see anything there, there might be a couple little specks in it or something, and you don't want to lose any. But you want to put the magnet underneath the pan. You don't want to do this. Although you get more when you do that. Matter of fact, I can't get it off here. You will catch gold in it. I can see that already. I can see the gold. Yeah. Now I think to spin it off, I've never used to spin it off, but I think it does it from the top. But if you look right here, there's a piece of gold there, there's a piece of gold there, there's a piece of gold there, and there's one here. And that's just from that run on the top, so you don't want to do that. But once you get all this magnetic out of there, you've cut probably, in this stuff especially, 30 to 50% of your material down that you'll run through your sluice. And that's really important. After you get, if you get that much out of it, then you classify it down to 20 minus, and it'll just go through here just like it was water. So, okay, this is another mining magnets thing. It's called the roly-poly. And what this is a magnet here in an enclosure, and they sell it this way, is the way I bought it, because I want to do something here that he doesn't do. And what that is this comes with a speed controller, and it comes with several other things, and it's like $165, I think, $185. This piece is 60 bucks, and here's the drill. And you can do exactly the same thing as I did before, but you got to see this. Now let me zoom on it, maybe a little bit closer, so I can see the pan, maybe. Maybe a little tilt. Maybe there. Okay, let's try that. So I'm going to do the lock again. And this is, and his has a speed control built right on it. You just turn it on with a switch, but I'm too cheap. And so now you just take the pan and do this. Instead of holding the drill, and you got it in a framework, and look at the black sand. And you can pull it from clear down in. And it's incredible. I mean, it really moves the black sand out. And this is just another way to speed up and enable you to get your gold out of the black sand. And just a little bit easier, get a little bit more of it. This isn't, again, it isn't a quick thing. It's, this I made, it's two 2x4s and the roly-poly and my drill. They're hooked together, and that's it, 60 bucks. And Colder Young sells them on his website. I don't have any ins with him to get big discounts or anything, but he used to give a discount to anybody who would buy. I think it was either 5 or 10% if you put my name in, just put Chuck in, it was the discount code. And I'd try it, and if you get it, good. If you don't get it, you know, I guess he doesn't give it to me anymore. But now I haven't been around the spin it off much. I've just seen a few people use it, and they like it. I don't like doing it from above. I like it doing it from below. And you can see how much black sand came out. I mean, that was just an... Alright guys, I had a camera malfunction there and everything went off for some reason. But this is the black sand that I took out of that. It's just sitting there, and there's no gold in that. That's the amazing part. Now he has one that he has, it's kind of a tower affair that he uses the roly-poly on, and the material comes down a tube, and it goes and splits, and the black sand goes one way around the roly-poly and out into a tub, and the clean stuff comes out the other side. But again, you got to pay for all that, and it's still good stuff. As a matter of fact, the magic bit I've actually done wet with good success. And now I might have picked up a couple. I haven't done that in a while. I probably ought to do that, but I'm not going to today. But I just wanted to show you this. This is the pre-setup for running through the cleanup sluice. And this is the same cleanup sluice. Nothing changed here. And once you come out of this now, you won't have any magnetics going over here to the blue wall. So if you have no magnetics when you go in there, you should just have the lights, and the heavier black sands being the hematite you'll still have, but the magnetite won't be there. So I just thought I'd show you that, and I'll show you an after run thing that we ought to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roast some black sand Arizona style. And you're probably asking yourself, why would anybody want to go ahead and roast black sand? Well, originally what it was for is when you had your gold was in sulfides, and you could roast it and get the gold out of the sulfides sometimes. Most of the time you could do it, and there are certain instances when you can't. Now Arizona's a little different. We got another different thing here in Arizona. And what it's called is desert varnish. And a lot of times when we get this desert gold, when we go out dry washing, we get material, the heavy black sand, and it may be magnetic or it may not be. You know, it's either hematite or magnetite. But what the deal is, it captures the gold and it's covered and it turns black. So you don't really see it when you're panning. You know there's something heavy there, but it's black sand and you just kind of let it go. So we've come up with this years ago, and what we do is we roast it like you're just roasting a black sand to get the gold broke out of the sulfides. And then when it cooks for a while, then we take it and throw it in a bucket of water, and you can hear it pop, and when it does, you'll be surprised at how much gold still comes out of that black sand that you thought had nothing in it. So let me get set up here and we'll get started doing this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put black sand in here in this cast iron skillet. Okay, get you a little bit more squared away. So this isn't going to get really hot like you're melting something. I would like it to, probably get 400 or 500 degrees. And just, just keep turning the black sand with the rod. Now this is brass rod. I'm not too concerned about because it's not going to be hot enough to melt it. Let's see, and I can actually... But I think I will use welding gloves to pour this. It's going to get hotter than that, so we're just going to let her cook for a little bit longer. I'd like to see it get really hot if I could. We'll see how it goes from here. So we're about another 4 minutes into it. Just thought I'd show you a temp. We're at 542, 5, I went into over temp. We just got too hot. So yeah, we're over 500. We're pushing into the 600 here in the middle. And what happens when you do that, another little safety thing is, you'll see some of these little rocks will pop if they have any moisture in them at all. Now this sand's been dry for, oh, probably 6 months. So just had one pop here a second ago, right over here. But when they get hot like that, a lot of times if there's moisture, they'll pop out. So you got to be a little aware of that also if you're going to try this. Ignore my coat. This is my Alan Robertson coat. You know, it's what he wears one that looks like this too, and it's all full of holes and burnt and stuff. And we kind of have the same coat for some reason. Has nothing to do with this, so you can wear anything you want to. And heat it a little bit more. The hotter it is, the better it's going to be when it hits the water here, especially for the Arizona stuff. But for sulfides, you know, they run it up pretty hot for that also. So we'll, not sure this torch or this will work high enough. See, the cast iron itself is like 360, 370. The sand from far away is 495, 499, 522. There's some 500, 506, 544. It's pushing 600 pretty good. And I'd really like to have it there if I can get it there, but I think my propane bottle's getting low because I can't get any more height out of it. That's why I used a torch. So we'll throw it here in a little bit and see what happens. Okay, we're running about a high 500 all the way around in this black sand. So I got the welding gloves out from the foundry, and we're just about ready to throw this stuff. So be right back. All right, guys. So we're just about there. We're going to throw it. It's been about 40 minutes. So here we go. It's kind of a letdown to watch it hit the water. It just seems like it pops in the water. You don't see much. But the object now is to go ahead and pan this thing and see how we did. See how much more gold we got out of it. Typically in Arizona we'll get another, oh no, 10-20% of whatever was in that run. We'll get the 10 or 20% more if it's in a sulfide area and or a desert varnish area. So stand by and I'll be right back and we'll do some panning. I think you'll be able to see this pretty good. I might zoom you a little bit, that might be too much, but so I'm going to take some material. I'm just going to use a tablespoon or so and put in there. And now this is a number 8 screen, like I said. And we're not going to put a lot because there's so much black sand here, and hopefully there's a lot of gold here also. So let's submerge him. And this is our flower pot that we use in the desert from home. We got this at Home Depot years ago, and we still use it. You cannot see this, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teeny specks, the fly poop stuff. See if there's any bigger guy. Yep. There's one bigger right there. You should be able to see that one. I can't tell if you're seeing it or not. Let me flip my deal around here. Okay, but Well, if you enjoyed this video, maybe learned something, give this a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and come back again for the next one. Hopefully you will try this and get the bottom of your pan to solid gold. Thank you so much for watching.